Well, hey, handy people, Dan here. Hey, had to do a little bit of backyard frame alignment, subframe, unibody alignment, really, on my daughter's 98 V70r that was hit last fall. My oldest son and I have been working on restoring that car, and we're getting her back in order. So let me show you what we're doing. Come on. So here it is, the day of the accident. Right, I got it home, cleaned up the debris that was inside. I cleaned up the car and put the driver's wheel back on at this point. So looking at the car, the damage that occurred, this got broken when they shoveled the debris and dumped it on the driver's seat. Of course, I cleaned it all up, but there was broken glass and rocks. That blew out the window, the lens. This is the driver's fender. It's pretty well destroyed. This corner is really rough. The hood is destroyed. The hood hinges are bent. That one's not as bent, but this one's terribly bent. The headlights, both headlights, turn signals, fog lights, bumper, grill, all destroyed. Bumper bar, the reinforcing structure was destroyed. It broke both these wiper motors for the headlights. Bent the shafts. The condenser for the AC system, the intercooler, and that big hole you see there at the back, this guy, that's the radiator. I think these hoses might be reusable, but these hood latches are totaled, gone, both sides. The latch here is supposed to be vertical, and it's horizontal. If you can see that or not, it's pretty well damaged beyond repair. Fold it all up. The part that attaches to the grill is gone, so it needs all replacing. However, it runs and it moves under its own power. However, you can't drive it much because there's no coolant in it. So, but there you have it. It's fairly extensive. I'm going to have to bend this support over back over. Fortunately, the key piece, which is this frame horn here, it's hard to see because I got the tape. It's got bent tabs, but it's still straight, and that's your impact absorbing deal. But this impact, she ran into him there, and then he was moving and swept everything, and I guess stuff got caught on his truck and just tore the whole front end off. Well, this car is a beautiful car. Came from my buddy Matt down in Atlanta, and you can see on the roof up here there's a little triangle. And then down here we have a center mark for the hood. And the beauty of this thing, when it took a hit, it was impacted from here and pushed and just ripped the whole front end of the car from the passenger side to the driver's side. So that was the impact that it took. And what we're doing now is pulling that the other way using my son's truck. And as you can see, got some witness marks of how many times we've pulled it so far. Just giving it tugs, controlled. And we've got this chain bolted to where the bumper mounts are. Of course, we've done a lot of work. You can see some of the damage is still there. But overall, the subframe didn't get damaged. Some of this stuff got bent a bit, but we're going to bring this back in order when we're done. And then mount the fenders and mount the bumpers and make this thing work again. But we're close. We put a mark on the lower end, and I'm trying to give you a straight on shot of it. We're within an inch. We're an inch or even closer, maybe, to where we need to be. It's not, it's not rocket science, but there is a lot of measurements involved. And the other thing we had to do is this end was high compared to that end by about 2 inches. So we've got this down now because he was pulling. I got a little hill that goes down here. He was pulling down the hill with this chain, pulling down that way. And yeah, we made some good ground. We're going to now, unfortunately we don't have a frame machine. If we did, it'd be really nice, because then you can pull against things. So our next tact is I'm going to bring my other car over here with a factory hitch and use it as a tie down spot. There's a loop over here on the frame, the subframe, that will tie down over direct to my SAF wagon, and he'll have to tug against 2 cars, and hopefully that'll give that enough momentum that we can move this frame horn assembly. And I call this a frame. I don't know what the proper name of it is, but it's a frame horn, and it's got to move that way. The cool thing is the subframe didn't suffer any damage from the hit. It all happened in that unibody, and I think we get that unibody back in line enough where it's safe, and we'll be able to do an alignment. And I'll keep you posted on that as well. But looking down the car, she's pretty straight from what I can tell. I've played with a lot of these P80s, and I fixed a number of cars over the years, and the stance on this thing's nice and true, and it actually runs and drives, believe it or not. But I mean, we don't have any coolant in it, and the oil cooler lines need to be addressed. But I'm going to take care of that and bring this little darling back. I got to give a shout out to IPD, because the hood and everything that was on the car got destroyed. This is a replacement hood that came out of a car from a junkyard over in Indiana, and both hood hinges came with that because the original hood hinges were destroyed. However, when I put this hood on and I lined it up the way it was aligned with the car and in the using the witness marks from the car in Indiana, it laid down so true and straight. And so when we ran a laser down the center of the car, that laser hit this dead center from the center point of the windshield, and then we grabbed another center point at the back of the roof racks. And so those 2 center points and this center point all connected. So that told me amazingly that even though the front end took a shimmy, this whole front part took a shimmy, this back part didn't move, and those strut towers didn't move. And that's probably what helped that from happening, that old school IPD strut bar. I'm sure that helped stiffen that and protect it. So we're excited. It's slowly but surely getting better, and I think safety-wise it'll be fine. because we're gonna still have the impact bar or the bumper on there. So I got a new bumper. Actually got a new R bumper in black that'll go on, and we got new fenders, good fenders that came off the car that hood came off of, and we'll get this thing back on the road here shortly. So hey, I'll keep it coming, and thanks for watching. So after we've had done a lot of work over multiple days, we got the car, the subframe straightened, or not subframe, the unibody straightened up, and we got the radiator, the evaporator, the intercooler, the hoses. We did the fan mod and tucked that fan in and gained some nice, I don't know if you can see it. Sorry it's raining today. We're glad of that. We haven't had any rain in a while, but we tucked that fan in very nicely. I used some extra bushings and did that. Also deleted both the oil cooler lines with an NA block-off plate. So we did some work, and we're getting there. We're ready to get some bumper brackets on this thing, and yeah, I mean, it runs and drives right now, but we're gonna do a stage 0 basically to the motor. We got the cowl yet to put on. We're kind of saving it till last because we had to do some alignment things, but everything's lining up. I got a cold, sorry about that. But everything's lining up, and it shouldn't be too long. So we've put a lot of effort. We got new hood latches, new used ones. The other one's laying back in there, but and the cables are still there. So, you know, it's an interesting thing to put back together. Yeah, there's still some damage, and we may need to shim when we put those plates on, those bumper brackets. We'll see. But this whole front assembly is quite adjustable, so that's kind of nice. Volvo built a beautiful platform. This thing looks straight. I can't go backwards because I'm at the woods edge, but and I'm not dressed for going backwards. Oh, and by the way, that is an R bumper in black, no less. And I do have a black piece for that. So, and look at this. This was cleaned 2 days ago, but we had a bunch of rain and stuff fell out of the sky. So, but she's coming along. She's looking good. Hey folks, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll keep this content coming.